How's it going, everyone? The day has come. Sparking Zero is now officially out. For those of you that dare to only spend $70, how could you? How could you only spend $70 to get the delayed release? You guys know how it works. We've been playing early access going back to, what was it, Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Now it is available for everyone, and everyone is jumping in. We do have some updated stats, and not too surprised that the numbers didn't actually go up all that much. Now, they have significantly gone up, and this game already with the early access numbers was a resounding success, and we're only looking at the PC numbers since those are the numbers that are publicly available. But I had expected, and I had thought that there was a chance because of the style of game that Sparking Zero is, 17-year-long wait since Tenkaichi 3 came out, and it's a game that so many of us were just so excited for, that we were all suckers, or a lot of us were suckers, and we spent the $100 right away. You get the season pass. Like, I actually think this deluxe edition, if you're looking at what's available in it, and if you want all the content, you can have your opinions on how fighting games are structured these days and whether or not season passes should be announced and committed to prior to even the release of the game. That's a different argument for an entirely different day, but just assessing it from the content rollout standpoint, you're getting 20 plus characters as well for the additional $30, but let's be real here. That early access did push us over the edge a little bit. Let's go over some numbers here. So right now, the game's 24-hour peak, and I do expect this to go up over the weekend as people are off work and so on and so forth. 122,554 players. That is the 24-hour peak. If you go back to when the game came out, it was a little bit below that. It was well under 100,000, actually. I believe it was around the 70,000 range. We uploaded a video a while ago, or in the 81,000 range, somewhere around there. So it has seen like a 40 to 50% jolt up, which is a very, very healthy number to see it spike up. Again, north of 100,000 players, you guys. This 24-hour peak of 122,554 players already makes this the most played fighting game of all time on PC. Games like this are always going to be more catered towards the console audience, but for comparison's sake, it has beaten out Street Fighter 6, it has beaten out Tekken 8, it has beaten out all of its contemporaries in terms of fighting games. It has beaten out every anime video game by a significant margin, including previous Dragon Ball games. Dragon Ball FighterZ peaked at 44,000 concurrent players, while Dragon Ball Z Kakarot peaked at around 25,000 players. This is 122,000 concurrent players for a fighting game on PC. You guys, that is a staggering success, and hopefully those numbers will go up. Maybe it can hit the 140 to 150k range, but this game has already been a resounding slam dunk home run success, and I don't think there's any other way that I can really use a superlative to describe how well Sparking Zero is doing. Again, given that you're talking about it comparing to IPs like Street Fighter, and it is beating that game by a significant margin, not a small margin. And think about back in the day, the Dragon Ball fighting games, we all enjoyed them, but it did feel like it was a little bit more of a niche release. Sparking Zero has become one of the juggernaut colossal game releases of the entire year. I feel like when I was growing up, when Tenkaichi was coming out, that anime games were always left on an island. That, yeah, the people that like anime are excited for this game, but anime was still fairly niche. It was something that, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of kept to myself as far as my anime fandom. Nowadays, and I don't know if this is a product of me being older or if it's just anime and Dragon Ball is such a well-known IP that there's no shame in liking it. It just feels like this is one of the biggest game releases of the year, and by a sheer numerical standpoint, it is. It's the biggest fighting game release of the year. It's one of the most played games of the entire year on Steam. Yeah, you could look at something like a Throne and Liberty that recently came out, and that's got a higher concurrent player count. That's also a free-to-play game. This is a $70 or $100 game that people were paying for, and it is doing this well. Oh, and by the way, Sparking Zero, again, a game that is very much gonna see the bulk of its audience play on PlayStation 5 versus PC. I'm sure Xbox Series is doing okay, but I would probably rank it as far as the most amount of players. It's gotta be PlayStation 5, then it's gotta be PC, then it's gotta be Xbox Series. I'm sorry, Xbox is just not a great place to play your games these days, and I definitely, if you're talking about longevity from a multiplayer standpoint, and again, maybe some of you guys think I'm making too big of a deal about it, but without cross-platform play, I've had multiple people tell me that anime games on Xbox have died out when we talk about the Xbox Series anime titles and the Xbox One anime titles more so, since there really hasn't been any next-gen exclusive anime games thus far. Sparking Zero is the first one. Currently on Steam as well, 13,563 reviews, 94% of those reviews are positive, so it is just shy of an overwhelmingly positive reception, guys. If you are enjoying the game, maybe consider giving it a positive review. It would be great to see an anime game get overwhelmingly positive on Steam, because I think that would be uncharted territory for an anime video game as well. If you look at games like Kakarot, Kakarot's a pretty well-received game, but it's a very positive reception. 93% positive for Kakarot, so a little bit below, and even, you know, a Storm 4, that definitely is not, overwhelmingly positive, 90% at a very positive reception. So Sparking Zero is almost there, and Steam is giving Sparking Zero the banner treatment, so it is getting promoted a lot, and a lot of people are now going to be aware that this game is out. I know you guys watching our channel are going to be in tune with the finer things and the games coming out and the dates and all that, but a lot of people aren't. They just open up Steam and they're exposed to, oh, Sparking Zero is out, let me go buy it. And, you know, credit to Sparking Zero and credit to Metaphor as well. We have talked about the competition between the two games because there is going to be a little bit of a crossover in terms of the audience that plays these games. Metaphor cracked 1 million copies sold digitally and physical shipments, so that's an incredibly successful number. It is just a good time to be a gamer. It is a good time to be a fan of Japanese titles. You got Silent Hill 2, you got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and you got Metaphor all in the span of a week. What a great time to just be a video game fan, and then that's even heightened if you were somebody like me playing Tenkaichi growing up. You're talking about the nostalgia, you're talking about a massive JRPG and a horror game. There's so much depth, so much diversity, and Sparking Zero is a game that actually delivered. When you're talking about a game that is building up from a 17-year-old franchise, there can often be too much hype, too much anticipation, and anime games were never received as titles that get north of a 90 on Metacritic. That's why, you know, the 83 on Metacritic, bro, there's reviews saying that there's too much fan service in the game. Like, what are we talking about here? You know, that's gonna be one of the elements of the game. There's too many Gokus. Okay, I think it's, I even thought it was a little bit comical how many Gokus there are, but there's a reason that they're all in the game. Sometimes it's funny that you have characters padding out the roster and you just slap Super Explosive Wave onto them and call it a day. That was a thing back in the day with Tenkaichi, but I feel like there's way more depth to the characters and the different abilities they have in this game versus Tenkaichi back in the day. And the Dragon Ball fans, who, by the way, this game is marketed for, we want all the Gokus. You damn right I want Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku. That's my favorite variant of Goku. I ain't even gonna lie, I know GT gets hated on. I love Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku. I just think he looks hilarious, and if Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku's not in the game, we gonna have a problem. I'm gonna have a problem with that. And Super Saiyan 4 Goku as well. I want the GT characters. The only complaint I would have is that it's a little bit of a bummer how the single player was structured, where not all the fights are in there. I do like the what if scenarios and whatnot, and I think they could add stuff via DLC, and I'm sure they will, but at the end of the day, this game was not going to be something, and I think the single player is quite good, but the single player was never going to be the drawing card for this game, but I actually do think the single player is good. I just think it could have a little bit more depth to it, but I'm loving the game. It's everything I wanted out of the game. The presentation, the flashy visuals, it looks tremendous. The roster, it's just fantastic, you guys. I'm so happy to see this level of success, this level of adulation that the game has inspired within the DBZ community. And Dragon Ball wasn't even my favorite anime growing up. I was always more of a Naruto guy, but you know, especially with my age range. When Dragon Ball was at its absolute peak, I was super, super young, but obviously anybody that has any affinity towards anime, you're gonna be attached to Dragon Ball and the video games. By the way, does anybody want a Budokai 4? I should throw that out there. I was thinking about it yesterday. If Sparking Zero did this well, what about a Budokai 4? You know, the old Budokai games. I loved Budokai 3, but I think a Budokai 4 would be something that people would gravitate towards after the success of this game. You know, don't do it for 5 to 7 years, but 5 to 7 years later, doing a Budokai 4 as well, man, I think that could be spicy, but that'll do it for me. The game is officially out, 122,000 concurrent players as of the recording of this video. Immense success for Sparking Zero. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.